Creativity is an addiction. It's one of those things that we live off from, and we steal it from other people as well. I mean that in that people are creating every single day, and through their creativity, your life is greater. Now, when you start thinking like that, the seed becomes the tree, which becomes the sheet of paper, becomes words, which becomes a movie, which becomes something else. You start to see how you fit into this process and why building a relationship up with your creativity is so important to not just yourself, but to the world. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. I write in a forest. I go into this forest to listen. It started at the Billy Graham Library in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2015 and has evolved into a lifelong journey. Something is always moving through each and every one of us. It's your calling. These aren't our words. These are the lyrics from Billy's Forest. Chapter number 307, March 20th, 2022. A mist-bathed morning inside this forest today, a feeling of fall more than spring. Calmly, the deer pace between the trees while a single black and white cat roams the forest floor as if to be starring in a Tom Cruise movie. The birds are vibrant with song, evidence of a new season about to pop. Yet this mist keeps me from entering. Its peacefulness is a behavior that seems to be more inviting. And it might be because the gray, thick sky is giving off this appearance of soundproofing. Anything long distance is nothing more than a muffle. Then my heart asks, what songs are currently being sung in the forests of Ukraine? Are the birds and other creations in their forests in fear just like their human counterparts? To write in what little forest is available for me is a special dream and a wish come true. But what about those in Ukraine? What about their forests and trees and other animals? In Carolina, it's peaceful, but what is it like in this war-torn nation? To be a writer on that soil. For now, they have freedom of speech. Please, don't let it go into hiding. 2 years earlier, this nation shut down with coronavirus. We were fighting an invisible war, and we didn't know what the next steps were going to be. And sitting inside this forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina, all of a sudden my heart began to swell when I thought, what about the writers and the thinkers and the doers and the givers that are in Ukraine? How have their lives changed? And more importantly, what about the animals that would bring the songs? What about the trees that would give shade to those who live in Ukraine? They're gone. They're gone. What about all of that creativity that was just so vibrant and so free to roam the streets, to be alive inside the pubs, to come into creative form in the shape of food, as well as storytelling? What's going on that side, inside their forests? And as writers, we must think like that because there is an internal connection between all people who believe in the force of creativity. And I'm not talking about Star Wars. I'm talking about the force. And those who do write, produce, create, you understand the force that I'm talking about. There is an energy within that builds up, and then we let it go. And when other people's forests are interrupted by another man's ego, all of a sudden, the energy from the writers on this side of the planet become the muse for those over there. I'm Arroe. These are not my words. These are the lyrics from Billy's Forest.